Good morning, everyone. I think it's almost lunch today. But anyway, this topic is everybody knows it, but still we have a lot of people falling prey to these scams, be it phishing scam or some of those scams that I'm going to talk about. And you hear the earlier speaker talking about retirement and so on and so forth. And definitely for those retirees, you don't want to fall into scam and have your hard-earned money taken away by the fraudster. Okay? And a lot of these are actually very common sense. And I must say that I'm no expert. I am just merely someone who look into all the bank fraud, financial fraud, and I thought it is good to impart some of these common scams that we know of, where a lot of people lose a lot of money, and these are all hard-earned money. All right. Now, before we start on this, of course, we'd like just to do a quick survey as to how many of you have fallen victim as a phone scam or phishing scam. I'll talk about phishing scam later on in my presentation. All right? So you can log on to this website, key in the code up there, and conduct a very simple 2-3 question survey. All right? So from here you can see that there are quite a number of people who have not received any phone scam, but there are also quite a fair number of people who receive phone scam but were actually alert enough or smart enough not to fall into the scam. All right. Similarly, for the other one, which is on phishing scam or social engineering, you can see more people have received this type of phishing scam but were alert enough not to fall into this, because I think the media and so on has been publishing a lot on this red alerts, red flags. So all of us should be more or less aware that there's out there who people try to steal your credential, try to steal your money out of your banking account and so on and so forth. All right? Okay, this is the statistics that I extracted from the Straits Times just February, slightly over a month ago. And you can see that the money involved, and these are all Singapore statistics, and you can see the number of people involved as well as the money that has been taken away by scammers is frightening. All right? Cheating involved e-commerce is not that a lot, but it's still 1.5 million. But what I'm going to emphasize later on is the love scam. $24 million were taken away just in 1 year. And the other one is impersonation scam, which the public lost 23. And mind you, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because a lot of people are just too ashamed or not willing to come forward and report to the police. So we are only seeing just a little bit of what is actually happening. There are a lot of phone scam. When we say phone, it also includes what is happening over the in the media, be it a WhatsApp, email, or so and so forth. It's a combination of all. And I will just highlight the key few ones that really is still happening, and a lot of people are falling into these scams. All right, love scam, impersonation scam, kidnap scam, investment scam, lottery scam. There are much more, even like job scam. You want to look for a job, and then people who win you into giving out money. And, some are even like credit for sex scam, which a lot of men fell into it. So let's talk about love scam. Just last week, we have received a report from another bank saying that a certain account, there were a lot of fast transfer. This is, fast transfer is the moment you go internet and do a transfer, is immediately effected to the beneficiary account, right? And there are multiple transfer of money into different accounts by a single customer. And this customer is actually educated, in the mid-50s, working in a government service. And when the bank actually contacted this customer and said, hey, looks like you may have fallen into a love scam. The lady said, no, I don't believe it. I trust my instinct, and I'm giving out this money to somebody I have befriend. I know he's true to me. And she just doesn't want to stop giving, even despite the fact that the bank asked her to go and make a police report. She refused. And there's little that the bank can do, even though the bank know for sure, because they are also the same account involved in the receiving of money. There are also funds coming in from other victims. All right? And why did the bank cannot do anything? Because the bank cannot go to the family member and say, hey, can you tell your mom or your sister or somebody not to do that? Because the bank is bound by the banking secrecy. So we cannot tell other people that so-and-so is transferring out money. All right? So at the most the bank can do is actually freeze the account and, file a report to the authority. Okay? Now, what is happening here is that in a love scam, the victim befriend stranger over the dating website. It can be the Facebook, WeChat, and so on and so forth. And of course, what is appearing on the internet is a handsome guy or beautiful, sexy lady, lonely, looking for partners, and so on and so forth. So, of course, the scam won't work. Today I friend you, tomorrow I ask you for money. So there must be building of trust and, friendship over the internet and gain the emotion of the victim. Yeah? It may look silly, but it's happening. Okay? So, words is cheap. You just have to say some sweet little nothing. And if the victim is a lonely person, he or she is even more vulnerable. Okay? Then after the trust has been built, the fraudster, the scammer, will then start to tell sob stories. We have another case where the fraudster actually told the victim, he is an engineer, he is posted to Cambodia to do some construction work. The building collapsed, and he's been detained by the authority. And they are looking at him for compensation, otherwise he will not be released. And so this victim been sending money, 50,000 US, 80,000 US, 100,000 US. The amount keep going up. And the excuse is always, they are still not prepared to let me go. I am desperate. And the amount lost $380,000. Okay? So this is what is happening. Of course, there are many variations. Arrested by custom because, he was trying to come into Singapore to look for this sweetheart with a 2.5 million travel check. And he is now detained by the custom, and he has to pay certain penalty in order to be released, to claim the travel check, to come and, either propose to the victim or whatever. All this sweet story, a lot of people are falling into it. So what is to look out for? Especially the lonely heart and even the more elderly people. Be careful when befriending somebody, a stranger online, all right? The photograph appearing on the internet could be an actress photograph or actor's photograph. Could be Brad Pitt, yeah, could be myself, right? Not say I'm handsome, but yeah, it can be anybody except not the scammer, all right? And of course, if we say that he's a professor, he's an engineer, obviously his grammar is definitely better than mine. But if he's speaking, the way he speak, the way he communicate on the online email, full of grammar mistakes and so on and so forth, then alert should be there. All right, you got to be careful with that. And like I said, sweet little nothing is very easy to say. It's free, and so these scammers somehow they are very good in psychology. They are able to convince you that they are true. They really mean it, and by looking at the situation, is that he want to come over to befriend you. He's overseas and so on. So the thing is, do not respond hastily to any request for money. The moment somebody asks you for money, and this somebody is not even somebody whom you have met face to face, should you give money? It's very silly to do that, right? So how to protect yourself? Be control your emotion, and do not reveal too much of yourself. You also read in newspaper, when you become friend, and the other party asks you to post nude, you post nude, and later on, this photograph will become the tool for the fraudster to extort money from you. You don't pay me, I'm going to publish this online, I'm going to put this on your Facebook, and you have no choice, right? So don't reveal too much of yourself. Contact the police immediately, especially when you receive call from somebody you befriend on the social media that is in trouble with law and so on and so forth. 100% or even 101%, I can tell you, is a scam. Why? Because if you are arrested by the police, could you actually make phone call out? Would you be able to, get money sent to you for the purpose of giving it to the police officer or the judiciary or the whatever? All right? Now, you go to the next scam, impersonation scam. We hear a lot about the DHL scam, right? And this happening, from what we gather, is most of these are coming out from China. And then, the call will probably begin as to, we have a parcel. The person will identify himself from DHL. I have a parcel received here in China, in Fujian, in whatever town, and we found that inside there contain illegal stuff. It can be firearm, it can be counterfeit, it can be money, and then there will always be a variation of story, because now the police is investigating into it. They are now suspecting that you are involved in money laundering, trading of in the forbidden items, merchandise, and then they will say, I will now have to transfer you to the police in China. So another person will come online and say that if you don't pay this, you don't pay that, we're going to make life difficult for you, we're going to arrest you, and so on and so forth. Sometimes the phone call will be coming in and ask you to open bank accounts just to verify that you are who you are, and then in so doing, you are asked to log into certain website to authenticate that you have actually done so, because the police there is able to check your bank account, right? So once you do that, and when you are logging in, your banking credential, your user ID will be stolen. Okay, I will also talk about later on how it combined with phishing to even get your one-time password generated by the token or SMS OTP that you receive from the bank. They are able to intercept that And once they are able to intercept that, they are pretty in control of your bank account. Okay? Now, what to look out for? Be wary of phone calls or even email claiming to be government official, especially those from the foreign country. Okay? And no government agency would ask you to make payment over the phone. Be suspicious of caller who don't give you enough information to identify who they are. Okay? These are all red flag alerts. Protect yourself. Obviously, when people ask you to send money, don't be so foolish as to send the money. Okay? Don't follow the caller's instruction. Like I said earlier on, very important, never to give your personal or banking credential, even the credit card information, right? Your credit card number, expiry date, right? And the CVV value, which is very important also. Okay? You all know what is CVV value, right? Now, whenever there's any suspicion that you have been a victim of any scam of this nature, always call the police. Either make a police report at the police station or call the police hotline, which is there, 1-800-255-0000. Okay? Kidnap scam. We don't hear that much lately, but it is still happening. The scammer will just call up and, pretend, mommy, that kind of stuff, and then somebody else will snatch the phone away and say, now I have your son or daughter with me, I'm holding this person unless you pay out money. Okay? And then behind there you can hear the so-called victim crying, sobbing, don't hammer me, don't beat me up, and so on and so forth. All these are all acting. Okay? Of course, not every case they will succeed. Especially if you are not married. How am I going to have a son? Right? But how do these people get the phone number, your phone number in the first place? They get it because it's through what you call social engineering, right? It may be from your Facebook account or from your other information that you have posted online. Or it can be just a random call, right? And they are able to then, try to, of course they hit, if they make 10 calls, they're able to hit one correct, it's already good for them. So a lot of times these are random calls, okay? And of course when they call you, they know that in order to prevent you from verifying from your loved one whether he's at home or he's at study or he's at work, he'll threaten you. You are not supposed to drop this call. If you drop this call, I'm going to harm your loved one and you will not see him or her again. And they will then direct you, now you go to the bank, right, and remit money to this bank account number. If I don't see this happening in half an hour, I'm going to kill the victim, right? And of course, if you are the type who easily been taken in by this type of scam, right, then you will follow the instruction. And of course, for the bank side, we are also very aware of such thing happening. So today, when people come into the branch and ask to remit money, withdraw money, or transfer money of a substantial amount, the teller are trained to identify this type of red flag. Why is this person trying to withdraw money? And then the teller is trained to actually ask probing questions and find out more about what is happening. Okay? Now, investment scam, again, is unsolicited message through the social media, Facebook, WeChat, whatever, or a phone call from somebody who claiming to be from the stockbroker, financial institution, or even bank employees. And they will claim that, I have insider information. But because I'm a bank employee or I'm a stockbroker, I cannot trade in my own name, and I need somebody to collaborate with me, and let's share the profit. Okay, this is just one of those excuses that they give. There are many variations, right? And so after that, once you have agreed to it, then they will say, oh, now you need to transfer money as a seed money or the money that you need to transfer in order to take out your profit. Sometimes you even receive collaboration call. These are collaboration call from another party to say that they are government official from the either, for example, the MAS or the Monetary Authority of Hong Kong, and to confirm that, you need to put this money into a bank account in order to draw out your profit. Okay? Now, what to look out for? The thing is this: if it sounds too good to be true, it is definitely a scam. Okay? If I can make money, why do I need to share with you? Especially you are a stranger. Okay? And if the investing, $10,000 will bring you $5,000 profit, would you believe that? If it's just too good to be true, definitely it's a scam. Okay? And before you invest, always check with those licensed financial advisor before you engage even in any kind of investment. And beware when you are asked to send money, especially to overseas bank accounts. Do not provide your name, personal detail, bank account, credit card to anyone you do not even know well. And then if the entity is based outside Singapore, go and check in that particular country's, either the central bank, or you can Google. Sometimes you can Google, you know that it's a scam. Lately, we have actually quite a fair bit of a complaint from people who fell victim into those binary options, right? You use your credit card, and then you can trade in this binary option. And what is behind the trading? God knows. You are given some kind of account, user ID and password to log in, and then you are supposed to trade. But was there any trade? Nobody knows. At the end of the day, your hard-earned money depleted. And you cannot do anything. So before you do any kind of trading of this nature, always check. MAS has a website also to be able to see which are the companies that are blacklisted. Lottery scam, same thing. We hear a lot about scratch and win scam. Sometimes you receive email, you have won a lottery of $10 million US, and to do that you need to transmit or remit some money as tax to pay the government tax of that particular country in order for you to draw out the lottery winning. These are all can't be true. If you have not participated in any lottery, how can you win it? Very simple logic. What to look out for? Same thing. Unexpected message claiming that you have won a prize or even inherit some property. Then, of course, the scratch and win one, a lot of the time we travel to Johor Bahru and he got stopped by some stranger, and then, it's a marketing message and give you a scratch card, ask you to scratch. Obviously, when you scratch, you say, you win a mystery prize. But to claim the mystery prize, you've got to follow me to my office. Once you go to the office, and that's the end, because it will be a hard sell headache to make you buy some worthless thing, or even say if you win a car, but in order to claim this car, you need to pay government tax. They'll actually bring you either to a collusive merchant where you are made to sign some credit card transaction, or even bring you to an ATM to draw cash. Okay? This is happening. So beware of get-rich-quick offer. Like I said earlier on, if it sounds too good to be true, definitely it's fraud. Okay, next I'll talk about what is phishing. Now, phishing is a social engineering technique used by fraudsters masquerading as trustworthy organization to obtain sensitive personal information through the internet. How to prevent this from happening? Now, when you make a call, if the call is initiated by you, you know who you are talking to. But if it's an incoming call, you don't know who the hell that person is. He can claim that he's from UOB. He can claim that he's from the police or even the government agency, immigration, custom, and so on and so forth. But you don't know who that person is, right? So unless it is the call that initiated by you, always be in doubt. If necessary, you will just ask the person to leave behind his number and you do a callback. But before you call back, you verify that the number is indeed belong to that particular government agency. Okay? And no bank will ever ask you to divulge confidential information, especially the one-time password or credit card detail, right? PIN, OTP. And definitely, you should never review your PIN or OTP under any circumstances, including through WhatsApp, through WeChat, through SMS. Okay? You are not required to do this sort of thing in any case. When you log on to any email link that come with either an email or even your mobile phone, right? To log into a bank website, you are taking a very, very serious risk. When you want to go into your banking, internet banking, always key in into the browser the URL of the bank that you are going to access. Never click a link to your banking account. All right. Now, of course, most important thing is actually for device, be it your PC or your handphone. Ensure that you have updated antivirus software. Okay. Avoid performing online banking on computers in public area, and always remember, if you do that, please log off, clear the cache and the browsing history in the computer. And when in doubt, always contact the bank for verification. Okay, I want to just give you a favor of what is some of this phishing email. This first one, as you can see, when I mouse over here, you can see that the message, the URL here, this one here, is not referring to the UOB official website. It's something else. Oh, sorry. Okay. You can see that the website address has nothing to do with UOB. Okay. So when you click here, you are going into the hacker site, and when you give any information there, your credential will be stolen by the hacker. Similarly, this one here is also nothing referring to UOB. And for your information, in this type of instances, the bank's database was never compromised. It is your device, it could be the tablet, your mobile phone, or even a PC that has already been infected with a malware, and the hacker is trying to access your information. Same thing here. This is another one, which seems to come from PayPal, as you can see from the top there. But it's again another phishing website trying to steal your information. This one look like UOB website, but if you look at the URL, it is not UOB website. Again, same thing. Now, one of the key things to look out for is when you log into internet banking, you look at this URL here, HTTP. Compared with the genuine one, you have an S behind. This S behind is means that this website is secure. It's encrypted with SSL standard, and the information transmitted from the client to the server is all encrypted, right? So if you are logging into internet banking, make sure that you take notice of this HTTPL, hypertext protocol, okay, with the secure link. Now, I just want to say that sometimes you may inadvertently download some kind of malware. Sometimes it's like when you download a video clip, the malware comes with the video. Right? So once you download that, your device now has a malware, and the hacker will then be able to steal information from your mobile phone. Okay? So email attachment as well as mobile pop-up notification for unknown sources is also dangerous. And once you click onto this unknown link, then obviously the hacker will be able to introduce the malware into a device. So only download application and software from authorized site like Play Store and Android and iTunes. And last is jailbreak devices are more vulnerable to hacking, to malware. All right. If you send your phone to those Sim Square technician to jailbreak it, those phones are no longer protected. Okay, this is an example of a mobile malware where you receive a message notification on your mobile phone to say that you need to update your WhatsApp. Otherwise, your data, your WhatsApp messages, including your photograph and so on, will be wiped out. Right? So you are asked to update, and it's a free update. You click the link. The moment you click the link, it goes to the hacker site. Then the phone go into updating mode, and you can see this Android man moving on the screen. And when this is happening, the hacker is actually already taking control of your device. Okay, and they can even intercept the one-time password that the bank sent to this mobile. So let's say this mobile device is compromised. The hacker now has your detail, will be able to go into the internet to buy something from the merchant, online merchant. And when the online merchant fire the one-time password, it fire to this mobile phone, but the owner of this mobile phone is not receiving it because the phone is on updating mode. But that OTP, the message is now intercepted by the hacker. And the hacker is able to complete the transaction without the customer's, the actual victim's knowledge. By the time when, after updating for a long while, you want to shut off also, you cannot shut off. In order to shut off, you may even have to take out a battery. By the time you put back the battery, all the OTP that the bank has sent to this mobile phone start appearing. Right? So this is the danger of clicking into unknown link to update your information. Okay, I'll touch briefly quickly on this man in the browser thing. Same thing. The hacker introduces a malware into your device, and they are able to modify what you have entered into the. Let's say you thought you are doing an internet transfer, right? But actually, the hacker at his end is also logging into the original website of the bank, and here you are logging into a hacker site. You key in your banking credential. The hacker is also keying in your credential to the genuine website of the bank. Okay? You key in the password, But when you want to do transfer, he's actually altering the message to another bank account, for example. Okay? This is an example of what is meant in the browser attack. You can see this actually was received none other than a lawyer, unfortunately. But this message is full of grammar mistakes. Right? It's supposed to come from iTunes. And what is happening here? Reverse customer instead of maybe reserve customer. Right? Otherwise, your account, you account. After a full stop, there's no capital letter. Copyright, short of a T. Luxembourg, wrong spelling. But still people fall into this trap. Okay? And what happened is this lady, same thing, thought she was updating the iTunes account. In the meantime, the hacker is already buying things on her behalf on an online shop. Okay? So this website here, nothing to do with iTunes. It's a hacker site. Now the liability issue, fraud losses. This is a touchy question. The bank always protect themselves. And in our term and condition, the bank generally require the customer to keep all this PIN, OTP information secret. You are not supposed to review this. So when you breach this duty of care, obviously the bank is not going to be liable. Okay? So in a typical phishing scam, it is the victim's device that is being compromised. The bank's system is still intact. There's nothing wrong. The bank will still send out the OTP as required under T&C as if you are requesting for it, right? So the other thing is that the bank expect the customer to be able to identify this as a red flag. The bank will never contact them via email, and you're just not supposed to enter in highly sensitive information like OTP and so on, and you are not supposed to click on the link contained in a phishing email. So, the conclusion is the bank generally decline to compensate customers who fell victim and suffer losses. Scams, the takeaway is be careful when you befriend stranger online. Do not give in to greed. When I say again, emphasize, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. No government agency would ask you to make payment over the phone. Do not send money to people you do not know well. Never divulge your personal information, credit card detail, and so on. For phishing, the bank will never ask you to, same thing, divulge confidential or personal information. You should never review your PIN and OTP. Always do not click on any email link to log into your bank's website. Always enter the full URL or domain name directly into the browser. Regularly update your antivirus software. And again, if you unwittingly fallen victim to scam or phishing fraud, immediately report to the police and your bank. Okay? And time is the essence. A lot of time, when the report comes in, it's already too late for the bank to react. We can't even recall the fund. We cannot stop payment. And, the money just gone. Especially now we are talking about fast transfer. The moment you click send, the recipient receives the money. He's already waiting at the ATM to withdraw the cash. Okay? That's all I have. Thank you.